Alright nerds, today we're going to learn how to use a digital oscilloscope and a function generator. So first, we're going to start with this guy. We're going to need to send a signal to it, and we'll get to that in just a bit, but basically we're just going to take the BNC out of the function generator and put it into position 1 here on the oscilloscope. Now to view that signal that's coming out, all we're going to do is push the channel 1 button, and I'll zoom in just a bit. And that's this guy here. Push that and we get a signal. There it is. If we were to push channel 2, there's another signal that shows up here, but we don't have anything going into the channel 2 slot, so we don't get anything. To get rid of that line, we can just push off right there and it goes away. So the main thing about the oscilloscope that we want to be able to do is to be able to measure what amplitude the signal is at, peak to peak, so from here to here, and then also to know maybe what the period of it is. So that would be from this peak to this peak. So to understand what we're looking at here, there are two knobs. One is going to control the magnitude of the signal. That's this first one. As you can see, as you turn it clockwise, it'll increase the magnitude, counterclockwise will decrease it. And the second one will control how we see it in time, so we can change what the frequency looks like. And it's not actually changing the frequency or the magnitude, just how we view it. So, if we zoom in on the screen a little bit, you can see here it says 100 millivolts. And all that's saying is that each one of these dashed lines, the space between that is 100 millivolts. So if we were to increase this to here, we can count our peak to peak voltage by just counting the lines that go down it. So if we start at the top, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you just multiply it by what we have here, which is now 50 millivolts. So 6 times 50 is 300 millivolts peak to peak. And it's as simple as that. So if we wanted to get the period as well, we can see here that each one of these spaces going left to right now is 4 milliseconds. So we can see that the period is 1, 2 and a half. So 2.5 times 4 is 10 milliseconds. And from there you can back out what your frequency of the signal is, and that should be all that you need. So now that we know how to use the oscilloscope, let's take a look at the function generator and some of the buttons that we have on here. We've got the power button, we've got a knob that'll change the frequency output of our signal, we've got range buttons that'll change the output as an order of magnitude. So when we're at 100 here, I'll push up, it'll go to 1000, push down, and down again, we'll go to 10 Hertz. We've got our output signals, so we've got sine wave selected right now, but we could also do a ramp signal or square wave. And over here we've got our sweep buttons. So this is just a function of the actual function generator itself. We won't be using this. We've got output level, so this will change the magnitude of our output signal. And you'll turn that on here. So it's turned on now. I can turn it off, turn it on. We can offset our signal. We won't be using that. And you can also set a duty cycle to the signal, but again, we won't be using that. Here's where the signal outputs to the BNC cable, which will run to our oscilloscope. So now, if we select, we're at 100 Hertz sine wave, and I'm going to zoom out so we can see both at the same time with the oscilloscope. Here's our output level. And if we change our output level, you'll see it grow on the oscilloscope, and likewise the other way. And so that's really all we're going to do with the function generator, is we're going to set a frequency, which will be set by this knob here. Choose a frequency, choose a magnitude, and then everything else we're just going to view on the digital oscilloscope. And that should be all that we need right now from that guy. Alright, so the last part of this is we've got to figure out how to save these waveforms to a file. And for this lab, we're going to kick it old school and go with the floppy disk. So the floppy disk can be inserted right here in the slot. Just going to stick it in there. And then to save the waveform, we're going to click on Save Recall, which is right here in the center at the top. And that's going to give us a nice little menu. And all we're going to do here is make sure that Save Waveform Channel 1 is selected, like it is. And then up here in the right hand corner, we're going to click to File. That's going to bring up this menu. And then you'll see right here, it'll say Save Channel 1 to Selected File. I'm going to click that. Then we'll see a little clock come up. And we sit and wait. And when it's done, you'll take out the floppy disk, put it on the PC in the lab, and save everything to a text file. So that's that.